Hello everybody, my name is Kevin. Sorry about the delay in video. I meant to get this out sooner. Had a really busy weekend, and also I got sick. I'm still a little bit sick right now. After I'm done with this recording, I'm going to have some chicken noodle soup and probably go to bed. I do not have NFL Network, and if I was 100% health, I would probably go out to a bar, but seeing as beer and bar food probably won't go well right now, I will have to miss on the Dolphins game tonight, unfortunately, which takes place in, 2 hours. So, I hope you all who do have the NFL Network enjoy it. I just want to give a quick recap on my thoughts of the Cleveland Browns game that took place this past Sunday. A lot of people, including Gacy, that is frustrated with the Miami Dolphins. Unless you think the Miami Dolphins are an elite team, the Dolphins should not have destroyed the Browns like everyone claimed they should have. If you look at the stats, for week 1, Carson Wentz, I have the stats pulled up right here, so if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking at the stats real quick. I'm just making this video on the fly, and I was thinking about waiting until after the Bengals game tonight, but I honestly will not be, since I already mentioned I won't be able to watch the game. I've been able to watch the last 3 games. So, since I won't be able to see the Bengals game, I probably won't be able to give my exact feelings on players' abilities and stuff that I was able to with the first 3 games. So with that being said, I decided to quickly pull up the Cleveland Browns rankings as far as what other offenses has been able to do against them. And it looks like we were par for the course, to be honest. Okay, Carson Wentz, he shredded the Browns defense. I would say shredded it. He played all right against the Browns defense. 278 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, had a QB rating of 66 and an overall rating of 101. Okay, I mean, he's been lights out all year so far. So, Carson Wentz, because he's a rookie, that has no viability that he's a rookie and he's able to beat up on the Browns defense because Carson Wentz has been unbelievable so far. I'm not going to go over individual player statistics, just overall team statistics to give you a gist of why I'm not worried about the Dolphins' play against the Browns. The Eagles accumulated 278 yards passing, so and 133 yards rushing for a total of 3 touchdowns. I'm not sure if the Eagles had any defensive touchdowns this week. I was going off like offensive stats. So overall, 133 yards rushing, 278 yards passing, and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Carson Wentz has been playing very well. And if we could get a Carson Wentz in place of Tannehill, that'd be great. But again, like I said last week, you could get rid of Tannehill and bring in a new quarterback. You're not guaranteed Carson Wentz. You could be getting Robert Griffith III. Nothing wrong with his statistics, or nothing wrong with him personally. He's just injured perennially, so we don't know how good, or he has a great potential, but he hasn't lived up to his potential. Or you could end up with his name is off the tip of my tongue. Not Carson Palmer. He played for USC. Matt Leinart. You could be getting a Matt Leinart. He was a Heisman-winning quarterback, and he didn't produce. He was an average quarterback. If anything, I'd say Tannehill plays better than he did. So I honestly don't think we should be worried. I'm not gonna go into another Tannehill debate. I'm just saying everyone's on that Tannehill. There was a few moments during that game against the Browns where Tannehill spent so much time in the pocket. At first, me and my friend next to me were both going, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" And he held on to the ball way too long, but he got it off before he got sacked or threw an interception. But before it was so funny. We were in the middle of this bar, and we're going, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And the 2 girls we were with both yelled in unison at the same time, "Throw the ball!" It was probably one of the funniest moments. Because, I mean, it was a very hectic moment. I mean, it was coming down to the wire. Tannehill was holding on the ball way too long, and but he managed to get out of it without a sack or an interception. He threw it away. but it was still, Tannehill needs to make some quicker decisions before, even if he is throwing away the ball. You throw away the ball earlier, you don't want to sack, that's going to be a fumble, or get hit and the ball just is a duck in the air that's intercepted. So, again, I will reiterate what I said before. Tannehill's not perfect, but he's decent enough. I'm more worried about the running game because we ran with, here I'll pull up this statistic real quick. We ran with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We ran with 4 running backs. 2 runs went to Jarvis Landry, and Tannehill only ran once. So moving on from week 1, 278 yards passing, 133 yards rushing. Week 2, I just closed it. Week 2 is against the Ravens. The Ravens had 302 yards passing, 80 yards rushing. 2 total touchdowns on offense. Both of them were passes, and Joe Flacco threw 2 interceptions. He had a 78.9 QB rating with a 72.6 overall rating. So again, when you see the stats for the Dolphins, you're going to see that we're par for the course. Now when it comes to the Miami Dolphins stats against the Cleveland Browns, we had 311 passing yards with 115 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns on offense. The Browns had 169 yards rushing with 279 yards passing. Again, I don't see a glaring difference from the Browns' first 2 opponents. So I'm not worried about the Dolphins' play. They seem to play all right. The only thing that worries me, I'll have to look into what a QB rating all stands for. Tannehill's overall rating was 93.9, which is great, but he had a 39 QB rating. So I'll have to look into what that means. Maybe there's like a factor of throwing it in bad situations, or we'll see. Maybe holding onto the ball, like when we were screaming at him to throw it. I can't say the Eagles or the Ravens are have any less chance of making the playoffs than we do. They've played pretty well. Granted, their defense, the Ravens and the Eagles' defense, I would say has been better than ours. Our pass defense, or our pass rush, was very good. The thing I loved seeing in that game, 2 things on defense that I would say I took away as positives, was the fact that the right tackle had to blatantly tackle Cameron Wake, I think 3 times before Cameron Wake got to the quarterback, or else he would have blindsided Kessler. So Cameron Wake would have had probably 4 sacks in that game had the right tackle would not have tackled Cameron Wake. So that I love seeing. The defense seemed to be on fire, and if it wasn't for, I wouldn't say it's cheating. I mean, you're protecting your quarterback, so protect him at all costs. So it's either a 10-yard loss or you're going to get sacked, possibly fumble. So, I mean, I guess it was smart, but at the same time, you have a chance of injuring Cameron Wake. If that happened, who knows how I felt toward that right tackle or the Browns in particular. But it didn't. We move on. Another good thing was Rashad Jones. He played great. He stopped what I saw was would have been the game winner for the Browns when we were on our own, where they were on their own 4 or 5 yard line, and the running back burst through the hole. Everybody's on the line, and the running back just ran by everybody, and there's one guy left, and that was Rashad Jones, who tackled him in the open field, in the middle of the field at that, so the running back had room to run. There may have been a safety on the other sideline, so he didn't have, I guess, anywhere to run, but he had a large portion of the field he could have ran on, and instead Rashad Jones stopped him in his tracks, and that was in the 4th quarter, I believe, very late in the game. So there was a question on one of the guys I follow on Facebook whether or not who the fans thought deserved the game ball, and in my opinion, Rashad Jones. The guy made all kinds of stops in that game. Rashad Jones led the Miami Dolphins in tackles, 10 of them. He had 10 tackles, with 9 of them being solo tackles that he did alone. 3 of them were tackles for losses. Rashad Jones played lights out. That's all there is to it. He deserved the game-winning ball. And even deflected a pass. So can't say enough about him in that game. So I'm very happy. That's a very good positive to take away from that. Sue's been playing great this year. I will say our defensive line. And I guess all the money they spent in the defensive line, we're seeing it pay dividends. It's just with the exception of Rashad Jones and a few nice plays by Maxwell. Maxwell did get burned a few times, but there have been some big plays, like say on late in the long third downs, that Maxwell was batting the ball down. I seen one where he actually batted it out of the receiver's hands, which is an exceptional play when you're wanting to stop the team on an important drive. So there were some very big plays, but there is definitely a lot of work to be done on defense. You guys may have not seen that I don't think they have offensive line stats. They do not. But the offensive tackle, Juwan James, was pulled from last week's game late in the fourth quarter by Gacy because he didn't like Juwan James's his blocking, I guess. According to Gacy, Tannehill was taking shots he shouldn't have been taking. Not throws downfield, but he was getting hit. And it was, I guess, Juwan James who was letting up the defender. And he wasn't doing enough to keep the defender from Tannehill. So we'll see if Juwan James lost the job for good or if he has a chance of winning it back. So we'll see all that. So that's going to be my quick take on the Dolphins this week. I would say against the Bengals, the big thing to look for is our ability to stop Andy Dalton from throwing it to A.J. Green. Also, we have the rookie tight end Barnridge to look out for. So I apologize if I botched that name. I'm doing this kind of on the fly, like I said. I'm now down to still an hour or 2 hours before the game. So I'm going to quickly edit this and get it up. Thank you everybody who subscribed, the 2 people that subscribed in the comments. I do appreciate it. It's the most I've received on this channel in a while. So I figured the Dolphins, when it comes to the Dolphins, I have enough knowledge where I don't have to do a lot of research. I know enough and I watch enough of their games that I can gladly get on here and report it, or at least report my thoughts. There's enough news outlets out there reporting the play-by-plays. But for those of you that are jumping on the Dolphin hate bandwagon and saying that we should have blew up the Browns, in my opinion, we played par for the course. So yeah, guys, again, thank you for watching. I appreciate all the views, the likes, the comments. If you have any feedback, please tell me what your thoughts are. I'll be more than happy to debate with you in the comments if you have an opposing view. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. My name is Kevin, and I'll see you next time in the bowl.
Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Miami has a Dolphin, the greatest football team. We take the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins.